The project delivers activities in two main phases, and that was the first 18 months of the project and the second. The aim of the first half of the project was to work with the public sector, predominantly with their procurement officers, senior managers and executives, looking at how you can implement low carbon procurement. That focused on a number of different interventions, so we delivered training in the sort of standard sense, sort of sit-down lecture, workshop style, through a number of one-day sessions, half-day sessions, and Duchy College through their 5-day Carbon Management Foundation Degree module. We also use a number of more innovative learning styles looking at mentoring and coaching, which we've termed assisted implementation, and hopefully what that does is, in addition to giving people knowledge and skills, it assists them with the process and systems aspect of implementing low carbon procurement. The second half of the project, the latter 18 months, which we're into now, is focused primarily on the private sector. Again, we're using a range of interventions from standard training delivery through to mentoring and coaching, and it's about trying to educate people about the questions which might start coming from the public sector in terms of carbon accounting, carbon management plans, over the next few years as the legislation starts to move in that direction and people start to manage their Scope 3 emissions, their supply chain emissions. The participants really reflect the structure of the project, and therefore the first 18 months have been focused on procurement officers or professionals, depending on the size of the organisation, senior managers and executives in the public sector. More recently, we've been working with the private sector with a primary focus on agri-food because of the involvement of Duchy College. So that includes both processors and producers, so the farmers. And it's hoped that over the remainder of the project we'll work in 3 sectors which have been identified through our work in the public sector as having a high sustainability risk, a high carbon risk in terms of supply chain emissions. And those are construction, care and social housing, and transport. One of the main issues which has been identified with low carbon as an agenda is that people don't have a basic level of literacy that they can appropriately engage. And really, the best people to drive the agenda are the practitioners themselves. So what we try and do is give a basic level of literacy that means that these people and their organisations can effectively engage with the agenda. Often the low carbon agenda is seen as a risk, and what we're hoping to do is give people the literacy to see it as an opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities associated with moving to a low carbon economy, and hopefully we can realise some of those opportunities for the private sector in Cornwall.